Morning. Hello there. Good morning. Hi. I love seeing your faces. Even if you turn it off, it's the camera. It's nice to see your faces just at the beginning. Welcome. It's getting colder. I went for a walk this morning and woo. um, Feel free to pop a bolster or grab a bolster if you have one. And if not, you might have some cushions or pillows. And if you would like to, as an option, we can start in Supta Baddha Konasana. So, and actually, we did this last week, those of you who had joined, and we popped it down the end of the mat and our feet on the bolster. But this morning, if you'd like to, we'll pop the bolster or the pillows lengthways along the mat, and we'll rest our head and our spine on the bolster or on the supports. And then your buttocks are on the mat, and then either stretch the legs out along the mat, or you might have your feet in Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together, knees out wide. So I might just show you in case you're not sure. And if you prefer to sit, of course, that's always fine to start off. But otherwise, bolster at the top or cushions, pillows, buttocks on the floor. Got my nice big winter socks on this morning. And then we're just lying down. When you lie down like this, if you find your chin is sticking up like this, then you may also like to pop a little pillow or a cushion or a blanket underneath the back of your head, because ideally we want the chin parallel with the forehead or even a little bit lower. So if this is happening with you, then you can try drawing the chin down to lengthen the back of the neck, but also just feel free to grab that little extra support under the back of the head. And legs, as I mentioned, can be stretched out or soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Now, another really nice thing we can do, if you've got lots of cushions around where you're practicing, is pop some support under the outside of your thighs and your knees. So if you come into this position that's a bit achy, mine is a bit this morning, then you can just grab that extra support, pop it under the outside of your knees. And any time that you want to, during the next 5 minutes or so, just feel free to release this and stretch the legs out. Now your arms can be by your side, they can be resting on the belly, one on the heart, one on the belly, or even stretched overhead if you'd like a bit more of an opening in the shoulders. So lots of ways we can set ourselves up for this first part of the practice. Just going to close that blind. And as we usually do when we commence, we might like to sigh or blow the breath out through the mouth a few times, letting go of the morning, letting go of yesterday and the day before that, feeling the weight of your body completely supported, sinking down into the support of Mother Earth, allowing your forehead and the area between your eyebrows to be soft and spacious, as if invisible fingers were gently massaging away any tension. And then noticing how you are feeling this morning. So noticing what's going on inside. body, mind, heart. And perhaps saying to yourselves, how human of me. How human of me. Taking some time now to be clear about your intention, your sankalpa for practice this morning. What has brought you to the mat? Why are you here? Practice this morning is designed around the idea of Shraddha, faith. This focus can be particularly beneficial when times are tough and it's challenging to feel a sense of hope, whether we're going through a crisis, whether we're unwell or experiencing some despair, or perhaps our self-talk or the words of others, particularly harsh at the moment, even cruel. Shraddha can assist us to keep our hearts open, softening to, surrendering to whatever we are currently experiencing, and remembering the presence of something larger, greater, bigger than ourselves, what we sometimes call in yoga Isvara Pranidhana. I'd like to share a few passages with you from the Buddhist nun Pema Chodron's wonderful book, When Things Fall Apart. Some of you may have heard these words before, but I like to come back to these words every now and then, just because I think they're so profound and can be so helpful at times for all of us. She says, when things fall apart and we're on the verge of we know not what, the test of each of us is to stay on that brink and not concretize. The spiritual journey is not about heaven and finally getting to a place that's really swell. This is where tenderness comes in. When things are shaky and nothing is working, we might realize that this is a very vulnerable and tender place, and that tenderness can go either way. We can shut down and feel resentful, or we can touch in on that throbbing quality. Things falling apart is a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. We think that the point is to pass the test or to overcome the problem. But the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, for joy. Generally speaking, we regard discomfort in any form as bad news. But for practitioners or spiritual warriors, feelings like disappointment, embarrassment, irritation, resentment, anger, jealousy, and fear, instead of being bad news, are actually very clear moments that teach us where it is we're holding back. They teach us to perk up and lean in when we feel we'd rather collapse and back away. They're like messengers that show us with terrifying clarity exactly where we're stuck. If we then aspire to know that place fully, a hardness in us will dissolve. We will be softened by the sheer force of whatever energy arises, the energy of anger, the energy of disappointment, the energy of fear. When it's not solidified in one direction or another, that very energy pierces us to the heart and it opens us. This is the discovery of egolessness. It's when all our usual schemes fall apart. If we're willing to give up hope that insecurity and pain can be exterminated, then we can have the courage to relax with the groundlessness of our situation. This is the first step on the path. So just start now to deepen the inhalation. Allow your inhalations to be a bit fuller, bit deeper, bit longer. Might like to wriggle fingers and toes. If the legs are still in Baddha Konasana, you might stretch them out now along the mat. And we're going to just bring the hands now over the heart space. So rest both hands over your heart. I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. And we're going to weave in the chant this morning, Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Shraddha being faith. But this chant honors, bows, praises the role of faith in our lives, welcomes greater faith into our lives. So with our hands resting over the heart, in a moment we're going to raise the arms up to the sky and then we'll chant the hands back to our heart. And we'll do 5 of these. So let's exhale all breath to begin. And then breathing in. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Four more. Inhale. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Breathing in, let's keep going. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Shraddhaya Namaha. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Take a breath. Let that sink in. And then gently release the hands. So if you've still got some supports underneath you, you might just gently roll to the side and push that support away and bring both knees into the chest. Give yourselves a lovely hug. And let's rock from side to side. Good. Come back to center. Now as we inhale, stretch the legs up to the sky, arms lifting up and overhead. And exhale, draw the knees in, give yourselves a hug. Option to lift the head if that's okay for your neck. Lower the head, inhale. This time you might take the legs wide apart. Toes are turned back towards you, so you're flexing the feet, pushing the heels up to the sky. And exhale, draw in, option to lift the head. Inhale, so legs wide or together, whatever you prefer. And exhale, do 2 more. Breathing in. And breathe out. Now this time, as we take the legs up, we're going to leave the legs in the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to lift our arms up and lift our head and reach our fingers up towards our toes. So keep the legs there. Inhale, lower your head down, upper back down. And as you exhale, lift up. Just be careful if this doesn't feel good for your neck. Please keep the head down. Inhale. You can even just keep the head down and just slide your fingers up and press the lower back into the floor. Otherwise, inhale, do a couple more. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, lower down. Bend your legs. Give yourselves a hug. And again, let's rock from side to side. A little bit more abdominal strengthening work this morning. So drop your feet to the mat, feet are hip width apart. Place your palms on your thighs. A nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, just again, lift the head, slide your fingers up towards your knees, squeezing, contracting the abdominal area, pressing the lower back down. Inhale, lower back down. So we'll do 4 more of these, but again, just be careful of the neck. If it doesn't feel good, please modify. Exhale, lift. Breathing in, we lower. Breathing out, we lift. Last one. And lower knees into the chest again and rocking from side to side. Please remember too, if you're not 100% this morning, you can always visualize the practices that you can't do on a physical level. Just stay with your breath. Keep the face soft, the mouth relaxed. Good. And then come back to center. So a little bit more abdominal work. If you'd like a bit of extra support, slip your hands under the buttocks. If you don't need that support, arms can be out to the side. And we're going to take the legs up to the sky. This time the feet are together and the feet are flexed once again. Tuck the chin forward. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the right leg down nice and slowly. And try to keep the left leg exactly in the same spot. Heel can hover off the floor. Inhale, raise that right leg up. And exhale, we lower the left leg nice and slowly. Breathing in, we lift. Breathing out, reload. Inhale. And exhale, left leg lowers. Good. Now you can continue working with one leg at a time as we're doing. Or those of you who like it a bit stronger and your lower back's fine, you can start to do 2 legs together. Try to keep the legs straight, but they can bend. Heels hover, and then inhale, lift it up. Otherwise, you're doing one leg at a time, alternating from side to side. If you've had enough of this, you know what to do. Just bend the legs, give yourselves a hug, and rock from side to side. 2 or 3 more of these. Linking the movement with your breath. Had enough. When you've finished evenly on both sides, knees come in and we rock. Let's take the arms out to the side, straighten that left leg, flexing the foot, and we're going to draw the right knee in, take the leg up and lower. So we're cycling a bike, but just with one leg at a time. Go at your own pace. You can speed this up this morning if you like, or keep it really slow. See what feels good for your body. Warming up our hip joint, knee, ankle, helping to improve circulation through the legs. So this is great for cold toes in winter, improving circulation. Good, and then reversing directions. And then let's just release that right leg down, and we'll do the same with the left leg. Noticing how this left side feels. Just make sure you're not tensing the shoulders. Let your palms be soft, relaxed. Face, skin of the face soft, your forehead soft and smooth. And reversing. Good. And release it down. Give the legs a bit of a shake. Take a deep breath in. Side away. And then we'll step the feet up close to the buttocks again. Bring your palms down alongside your hips. And we're going to work with a nice slow bridge this morning. So as we inhale, let's just lift up about halfway. Not going to our maximum point yet. And then as we exhale, just start to roll back down. So take your awareness into your spine. Breathing in, slowly lifting just halfway. And breathing out, saying good morning to our backs, our spines. Noticing how that part of us is feeling this morning. If you've been feeling a bit achy, a bit sore this morning, not 100%, you might offer those lovely words to yourself. How human of me. You know, we can get so disappointed or frustrated or sad. It can be really a kind reminder, how human of me. It's like we're starting to lift a little bit higher now. Inhaling, pressing down into the feet, keep the palms of the hands pressing down, and exhale, rolling down. Nice and slowly lifting up and lowering down. Now you're welcome to continue working like this dynamically, or the next time you lift, let's hold bridge, and if you like, press into your upper arms and lift your forearms up. Palms are facing each other, your fingers are pointing up towards the sky, and breathe as we hold, pressing into the inner edge of of both feet, so the big toe side of the feet. See if you can press that area a little more consciously into the mat, working the insides of the thighs, drawing the inner knees towards each other, almost as though the little toes could lift off the floor. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. I won't stay too long at this point. Lower your hands, lower your back, knees come in, and again we rock from side to side. Okay, so the last couple of weeks we've been working with our bandhas. As the weather gets colder, we're transitioning into winter. This is a perfect time to focus on cleansing, washing away, purifying, trying to shift any stagnant energy, stagnant blood, toxins. And also the bandhas are wonderful to work with at this time of year because they're heating and they're very stimulating. So all our system can become a bit sluggish and everything can slow down as the colder weather comes in. So these practices can help things get moving, invigorated, and heat us up so we're not feeling so freezing cold. So let's work again, as we did a couple of weeks ago, on our back. So this practice is called Tadaka Mudra. If you're not familiar with it, feel free to watch the first one. But we've got our three bandhas: Mula Bandha, perineal lock; Uddiyana Bandha, our tummy lock; Jalandhara Bandha, our throat lock. So in a moment, we're going to apply all of those internal locks, and we're hoping to shift all of the prana, the life force, energy, into the solar plexus area to stoke our digestive fire, Agni. So really good if you get a sluggish sort of digestive eliminative system, particularly as the weather gets colder. So we're going to interlace the fingers under our head, elbows are out wide, feet are hip width. Just a reminder, if you've had a big brekkie, please don't do these. If you feel nauseous or dizzy, that's an indication to stop. So they are a very powerful practice and really need to respect that and really listen inwardly to how we respond to these quite powerful practices. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in. Blow the breath out through the mouth as you lift the head. Keep the elbows wide. So now we've got our bandhas applied. There's no breath in the body. So we squeeze, contract the pelvic floor, draw the tummy down towards the ground, in up under the rib cage, chin to chest. Holding here. When you need to breathe, just lower the head slowly and release. Take a breath or two. Let everything relax. Check in with yourself. If you feel okay, we'll continue. If not, please stop. Okay, so again, deep breath in. Blow the breath out through the mouth. Squeeze, contract the pelvic floor, draw it back in and up. Tummy down, in and up. Chin to chest. Release when you need to, and take a breath or two. Okay, last one. If you'd like to this time, something I seem to always do just sort of naturally when I come into the bandhas is with the eyes closed, gaze up to incorporate Shambhavi Mudra. So gaze up towards the center of your forehead. So you might like to try applying that as well this time. So a deep breath in, blow the breath away. So applying the 3 energy locks and then also gazing to the center of the forehead. Release when you need to. Just noticing the effects of the practice. Giving yourself time to absorb the benefits rather than just rushing straight on to the next practice. So it's like we're just pausing in between the practices, not making it a rushed practice. All right, now while our hands are up here under our head, let's just use our fingertips to give ourselves a massage. Just where the hair begins to grow. So the base of the skull, starting in the center of the head and slowly working your way out towards the ears, looking for any particularly tight or sore spots. You might spend a bit of extra time there. Let the head be heavy. Let the head sink back into your fingertips. You might open the mouth, so relax the jaws. Let your eyes relax, your forehead. And then slowly release your arms down by your side. We'll just do a little stretch for our necks. So on the next inhale, raising the right arm up overhead. Tuck the chin forward. And as we exhale, just turning the head to the left. Tuck your chin down towards that left shoulder. And then on the next inhale, return your head to center. And as you exhale, lower the right arm. Good, so nice and slowly. Left arm, breathing in. Tuck the chin forward. Breathing out, turn your head to the right. And again, just tuck the chin towards the shoulder. Relax that left shoulder. Inhale, head returns to center. And we lower the left arm down. Let's do 2 more of these to each side. Breathing in, right arm lifts. Turn the head to the left. Return the head to center. And lower the right arm. Left arm lifts. Turn your head to the right. Back to center. One more to each side. Finish, take a breath. Stretch your legs out along the mat. We're going to take one arm above the head and roll over onto our tummies. Taking both arms above your head. Feet are hip width. Your forehead is on the mat. Your arms are shoulder width apart or a little bit wider if that's better for your shoulders. Now, before we even start to stretch, let's just wriggle our fingers forward and stretch. Lift your legs up one at a time. Just stretch the legs back out of the hip joint. See if you can add an extra centimetre or 2 to your leg before we even stretch. Good. Exhale all breath. And then as we inhale, raise left arm, right leg and head. Exhale, lower. Right arm, left leg and lower. Left arm, right leg and lower. Right arm, left leg and lower. Left arm, right leg and right arm, left leg and lower. Okay, we're changing now. Left arm, left leg and head and lower. Right arm, right leg, head and lower. 2 more of these to each side. Left arm, left leg and lower. Right arm, right leg and lower. Left side, lower. Right side and lower. Good. If you've had enough, just take a rest. Otherwise now, a bit stronger. Both arms, both legs and head. And lower. 2 more of these. Whole body. Point the toes. And lower. And last one. And lower. Now resting hand on hand, chin or forehead on your hands. Bend the lower legs and let's just swing them from side to side. Okay, come back to center. So this next one, we're going to bring the arms down alongside us. A couple of options. Either you can press your palms into the mat alongside the hips, or if it feels okay to do so, we're going to make fists with the hands and just roll from side to side and tuck the fists into the groin on either side. Some people find this a bit uncomfortable. So if that's the case, just keep the arms out to the side. Forehead is on the mat. Feet are together. Now as we inhale, we're going to lift just the left leg, point the toes, stretch the leg out of the hip, and lower. Right side lift, and lower. 2 more of these to each side. Linking the movement with your breath. Now you can continue doing one leg at a time, or a bit stronger. Inhale, lifting both legs and head. Now your legs can also be wide, or stronger is together. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Release your arms. If you need to, bend the legs and just, again, swing them from side to side. So as well as being wonderful for strengthening our lower back, when we have the fists into the groin, it gives the, particularly the bowel, a great massage. So again, just helping to encourage movement rather than everything being very slow and stagnant as the weather gets colder. All right, come back to center. So feet for this one can be together or apart, a bit gentler for the lower back. We're going to come into Crocodile Makarasana. We're coming up onto your forearms. Palms of the hands together. We're going to try and stay here for a couple of minutes, but if it becomes a bit intense, please come down to rest. We're going to work with a little visualization and also come back to our chant here. So I invite you to take your awareness to the base of the spine, eyes open or closed, whatever you prefer. If you feel inclined to do so, you can direct your gaze again to the center of the forehead, so applying Shambhavi Mudra. And as we inhale, let's imagine that we're from the base of the spine, breathing in Shraddha. So as though the breath contains faith. And we're breathing that faith, Shraddha, all the way up the spine. And then as you exhale, just chanting silently, Om Shraddhaya Namah. So you perhaps gaze at your third eye. So inhaling Shraddha from the base of the spine, all the way up your spine. Om Shraddhaya Namah. Just continuing at your own pace, breathing in faith, Shraddha, filling yourself up with faith. Om Shraddhaya Namah. Keep going. Very very well-known, well-respected yoga therapist who's no longer with us, TKV Desikachar, once said that faith is the opposite of fear, and that fear actually paralyzes us. To quote him, he says, faith is the energy which will hold us on the right track. It is an unshakable conviction, and it is something that can sustain us through the most, the darkest, most doubtful, most fearful of times. So imagine or feel that you are being flooded internally with the energy of Shraddha, faith. This Shraddha is mentioned in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali in Sutra 1.20. Shraddha Virya Smriti Samadhi Prajna Purvaka Itare Sam. And then chanting to yourself, Om Shraddhaya Namah. 2 more breaths here. Still up. Let's slowly lower ourselves down. Bring your hands back alongside your chest. Lift, bend your legs, and we'll come back into child pose, any version of child pose. Extend the arms forward. Let's inhale, come up onto our knees, tuck our toes, and we're moving into down face dog pose. Now we might stay here for a few breaths. If this is not great for your wrists, or you've got a bit of a cold or some congestion this morning, you might prefer just to work with a few rounds of cat instead of staying in dog. But otherwise, we're into our beautiful down face dog pose. We might start by just bending one leg and then the other, especially if the legs are feeling quite stiff and tight this morning. Fingers spread wide. Breathe. When you've had enough, stay a bit longer if you're happy there. Come down onto all fours and then release back into child. Now, as we inhale, coming up into cat, perhaps saying, I inhale faith, Shraddha. Rounding the back, I exhale fear. Breathing in, I inhale Shraddha, faith. Breathing out, I exhale fear. I inhale Shraddha. I exhale few more in your own time with your own breath. Finish the one you're on and one more. Take a resting breath. And then slowly walk your fingers back towards your knees and uncurl your spine. Preparing to go through a few rounds of our kneeling salute, so you can be down here or up onto your knees if this is better for you. We're going to add a couple of extra poses as we go along, our full prostration and our star lift. So come along with me. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. Now here we're sliding along the floor, palms together, and we rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide and lift. And lower, hands alongside the chest. Breathe in, Cobra, Bhujangasana, back into child. Inhale. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down, face dog pose. Child. Coming to lie down, take a breath. Arms and legs wide and lift. Lower, hands alongside the chest, inhale. Exhale. So I'm going to add an extra pose. Exhale. So inhale, come up into cat. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn to the left and come into gate, Parigasana. We might rest this top hand onto our hip or extend the arm up. We're holding for a few breaths. Some of you might like to turn that top arm and extend the arm over your head. And breathe, and if you'd like to, you can lift that, try lifting the top leg up, flexing the foot. And then let's slowly lower the foot, release the hand down, and then we'll turn to the other side, raising that top arm up if we can. And we may turn that top arm, extend the arm over the head, perhaps even lifting this top leg up. And breathe. Good, and then lower down, come back to center, tuck your toes into down face dog pose. So we continue the salute. Inhale, into child, sliding along the floor and rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide, let's lift. And lower, hands in, lifting up, and pushing back. Inhale, come all the way up. And take a breath or two here. Just notice what's going on inside, how you're feeling, perhaps adding those words, how human of me. We're going to grab our bolster or our pillows or cushions if we've got them, and coming to supported child. If you're feeling quite cold, you might like to wrap a shawl or a blanket, pop that over the top of you as you come forward, head to one side, take a rest. And again, we might like to take our awareness down to the base of the spine. And as we breathe in, imagine that we're breathing up our spine and that the breath contains the energy of Shraddha, faith. So we're inhaling faith. And if you like, chanting silently to yourself as you exhale, Om Shraddhaya Namah. Turn to one side, just gently turn it the other way. The next 2 or 3 breaths, just preparing to change position now. And I'd like to offer you a couple of options as we come towards the end of our practice. A bit stronger is to work with supported fish, Matsayasana. Second option is to much more restful, is Viparita Karaniyasana, where we lie with the legs up a wall or on a chair. So fish, I think you all know this one, will have some support under the upper back, and we're lying back. Any neck issues, you'll give yourself some support under the back of the head. Something like this. Otherwise, find a wall space, or your legs can be on the lower part of a chair. And if you're using a bolster or some pillows or even folded blankets, you want them about a hand's distance away from the wall, so it's not actually touching the wall. And then you'll be coming in sideways, swinging the legs up the wall. So something like this. Again, you can cover yourselves with a blanket, have your socks on, and rest. And we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. Arms can be down alongside you, or again, they might be overhead, just wherever feels comfortable. Eyes closed. You might even like to cover your eyes at this, if your legs are up the wall, with an eye bag or a scarf. Like to be continuing to inhale Shraddha, faith, and as you exhale, chant to yourself, Om Shraddha Namah. While we are here, I'd like to share with you another passage from Pema Chodron. Again, I think many of you will have heard this before, but as I mentioned earlier, I think it's such a wonderful reminder for us all at different times of our lives, but especially those moments when, well, the book is called When Things Fall Apart. So any time in life when we're feeling that we're in that place, such a great book to look at. And there's another one, if you're interested, can't remember, it's something, The Places That Scare You. That's another one of hers, something like that, The Places That Scare Us. Those two books I highly recommend if you're interested. She says, the essence of life is that it's challenging. Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's bitter. Sometimes your body tenses, and sometimes it relaxes or opens. From an awakened perspective, trying to tie up all the loose ends and finally get it together is death, because it involves rejecting a lot of your basic experience. There's something aggressive about that approach to life, trying to flatten out all the rough spots and imperfections into a nice, smooth ride. To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the net. To live fully is to be always in a no man's land. To experience each moment as completely new and fresh. To live is to be willing to die over and over again. From the awakened point of view, that's life. Death is wanting to hold on to what you have and to have every experience confirm you and congratulate you and make you feel completely together. Just a couple more moments, couple more minutes here. That's 2 or 3 breaths, preparing to let this pose dissolve. If you're in fish, rolling to one side is the safest way. If you're with the legs up the wall, you might draw the knees, the legs down, and just carefully roll to one side. And just before we go into Shavasana, I'm just going to work with a supine twist. So come onto your mats. If you have your bolster close by or a cushion, you might even like to just pop that to the right side of your legs. Legs are bent. We can use that for a bit of support this morning. Doesn't matter if you don't have any props, that's okay. Arms out to shoulder height, palms up or down, whatever feels most comfortable for your shoulders. Just check your head, neck and spine are in a straight line. So feet can be on the mat or in the air, knees together, or even feet together on the mat. Just again, you know whether you want a strong twist, how your lower back will cope, or a more gentle option. So deep breath in. And we're going to lower the knees over to the right side. So you may not need that any support there, but if you've got it this morning, let's give it a go. See how it feels. And then we may turn our head to look towards the left if that's okay for our neck. Seeing if we can relax that left shoulder, soften the skin of the face, and breathe. We come back to center, realign your spine if you need to. If you're using some support, then you'll pop it over to the left side. Deep breath in. And knees over to this left side. Head may turn to the right. Just relax your shoulders, relax your face, your mouth, and breathe. We come back to center. Give yourselves a hug, perhaps cross the legs at the ankles, and let's make some little circles on the floor. And cross the legs the other way. Come back to center. Inhale, let's stretch the legs away, arms lift up and overhead. And lower the arms down. So let's set ourselves up now for relaxation. If you'd like to, you can slip some support under the lower back. Make sure that you're warm. You know, cover yourselves in a blanket, removing any glasses, perhaps covering your eyes. Just taking a long, slow, deliberate breath in and let it all go. And again, a long, slow, deliberate breath in. And let it all go. Allowing the whole body now to sink down, down, down. Breathing in and letting go. And feeling now that you are truly anchored in faith. Faith flowing through you from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. A light, a sensation, an energy, Shraddha, filling you, nourishing, supportive, compassion, gentleness. Feel yourself anchored into faith. As you're resting, I'd like to share with you the beautiful serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Another beautiful reminder for us. So feel free to stay as you are if you're happy here and you have the time and space. Otherwise, I invite you now to slowly start deepening the breath. Just wriggling your fingers and toes. I'd like to have a bit of a stretch. Over to one side and slowly making your way up into a comfortable seated position. Just bringing your hands to the heart space. We'll chant 3 Oms to seal our practice this morning. Feel free to join in or just listen. Exhale. Breathing in. Oh. Oh. Lots of love to you all, and see you again soon, hopefully. Bye.